I want to focus in on the UFC debut of Aleksander Topuria, Ilia Topuria's older brother. Coming out March 10th, I have my Strike Ready course called Takedown, where we are going to be focusing on sweeps and throws. Early bird pricing available right now. Link below, guys. Get yourself registered. Now, why have we not seen this guy in the UFC? Well, I love the story. And I was so intrigued. Very often I don't watch UFC debuts. I don't make a point of getting on the TV and being like, I'm watching this. So why has he not fought before? Well, he spent so much of his life helping his brother, his younger brother, get to that amazing skill level which he has, achieve a UFC title. It's fantastic. Aleksander Topuria, going into this, his record I believe was 5-1. So he's put so much of his time into helping his younger brother, but I went, look, if his brother is this good and he's been training alongside him, whether it's him helping him, but still doing some sparring, holding pads, all this other stuff, he's gonna have a good skill level. And there was just so many reasons to watch this. Very often, brothers train together. That's a normal thing. But for both brothers to train and fight, that is very common. For one brother to just put his career on hold to help the other, this is very unique, especially when he still has ambitions of being a great fighter. So he took the win, spoiler alert, he took the win, but it wasn't easy. First round was good from Topuria. Second round was much harder. Third round, he rallied. But I want to focus in on a couple of things which he did very well. Number one, his calm. He's so calm in there. And his defense, I talk about defense all the time. You guys have heard me just time and time again say you gotta focus on it. And if you watched his fight tonight, you would have noticed just when he blocks stuff. Calm, minimal output, not overdoing it, not getting frantic, eyes locked, super focused. I've noticed these two brothers do work before, especially for Ilia when he's doing his training, and they have the pool noodles and they're poking it, working on head movement, working on blocking, getting that eyesight locked in. And this is something Canelo does as well. If you have not trained with pool noodles and worked on defense, you absolutely should be doing it. Great way to hone in without any damage. You have no risk of taking damage with a pool noodle flying at you, but you still get to do your defense. The next thing which Aleksander did very nicely was whenever he wanted to create space, because he was very often hunting. He was hunting, especially in that first round. But whenever he needed to create space, he just took a step back. And it made it very difficult for his opponent to land anything throughout many times in the fight, actually, not just the first round. So recreating that distance when you're on the attack, I'm coming, he stayed very low. He was very low in his stance, ready for that big overhand, which he has, but when he needed to, just that little step back to create space. Super smart. At some point in the fight, we saw a crazy slam. I just wanted to show you a little highlight of it because I don't see this very often in the UFC, but it was pretty wild. And there's always that little part of me which goes, oh, I hope they don't get knocked out. Like I just put a video out, I think yesterday, about Saenchai sweeping somebody and knocking him out through the sweep. So when I see those body slams, I just go, oh, I hope they don't land on their head. Now, both Topuria brothers have a sharp overhand. And you can tell it's so scary and so powerful because his opponent, even though he was blocking it, would never counter, which shows you how tight he is. And he was also just kind of shelled up in fear, not really moving with it, not anticipating it, just going, oh, he's loading up, I'm gonna get ready for it. And that just shows you how great it is. Something that Ilia does with his overhand, which I'm not 100% sure if his brother is doing, but they lead with the shoulder. So it's not coming wide with the arm, like see it coming. They really go to this motion and then boom, at the last second, really flared the elbow up. It's hard to see it coming when Ilia does it. And his brother, Aleksander, when he did it, it was going, whoa. That is a powerful punch, especially for a bantamweight. Now, I'm not sure what we'll see going forward. Aleksander, I'm sure he will fight again in the UFC, but will his focus go back to his brother as he comes up for whatever is next? Is he fighting Islam Makhachev next, going up a weight class, or is he going to do a defense? Either way, I'm sure the focus will go back on him. But I would love to see Aleksander back in the ring again, or the cage, and I will 100% be watching because his skill set is very nice. Very enjoyable to watch, and both brothers have just done a great job. And equally impressive that they're both in there because, as I understand, they both come from a family of money, maybe not loads and loads of money, but they don't have to fight. They do it because they like to fight, and that's sort of like myself. I don't need to fight. I've never done it for like, oh, okay, I need to make lots of money fighting. There's lots of other options over here in Canada, right? Like all my siblings have gone to school, got good jobs, and I always stuck with fighting just because I love the training. I love it. Not so much the fighting, but to be able to train twice a day, so fortunate. So these guys are very unique, and I'm looking forward to seeing both of them fight again in the future.